right there? That nozzle is going to blow those lights and fill them with water. So whenever we start flowing water, try not to come up and hit the bottom of your bucket. It's just, those are probably $700 a piece.
Seven?
Yeah, they're a lot of money. There's nothing cheap on those.
We're in a wrong business.
Yes. Me too.
Oh, it's
Okay. None of this lacing underneath here, none of this structure can support any weight. So don't try to tie off to any of that. You'll just end up ripping the bottom of the basket off. All it's there for is to keep your bucket together. It's not there to lift things with. Okay? So don't do that. If you have a shower curtain for decontamination or to keep the underside of the bucket cool, the handle is on the inside in the back corner of the bucket. When the handle is up on this one, it's open. When it's down, it's closed, which is opposite of the way they used to be.
So it's not automatic?
No, it's not. No, there is a little handle. If you look up in here, you'll have to pull that up to open it. Okay. There is an automatic drain on this bladder. It's inside right here where the relief valve is set for this monitor. When you're not flowing water and you get down to 1.5 pounds of pressure or less, it automatically opens, thus helping you drain your waterway quicker. It'd be like taking a bottle of Pepsi or a bottle of Coke, fill it, you turn it upside down, she goes glug, 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 comes out slow. You poke a hole in it, it comes out faster. That's what that is up there. There is a relief valve set in this side of it. It's set for 165 crack pressure, 200 fully dumping. At the back of your truck, there is another valve. There's a big dump valve for draining it, but right behind there is a valve set at 220 crack pressure, 250 fully dumping. So both ends of your waterway are protected by relief valves so that you don't overpressurize your waterway and blow the seals out. Okay. Well, that's what you have there. All right. This little black thing on the back side of your basket back here, that's for the camera. And back at the turntable, there should be another one. And they need to see each other in order for the camera to work. Now, they took your section out. I'm guessing they didn't hook something back up, so we're going to have them check into that. Just to make sure everything is good. These actuator arms that are on each side are electric. Okay? And if they get out of sync, your basket will stop moving. They need to be reading their pressure correctly. One of them operates the other one. So there is a master and there's a slave. And if the slave gets out of whack and the basket starts twisting, by more than 0.03 degrees, it shuts off. Okay? So it knows where it's at. That electronic tilting of the basket is controlled by that 24-volt battery. By running hydraulics up here would have been too heavy, so that's why they do it electronically. Each one of those arms lifts 6,000 pounds. Wow. That's strong.
Is there an operating runtime on this? Before that battery dies?
It's usually about like 3 or 4 days.
Is there any way to charge those batteries or run that on bar PTO?
No. No. Yeah, I guess you could. You could plug a cord into the side here and run your generator. That would do it. But that's about it. Just make sure you leave your truck plugged in when it's not on a call. That keeps those batteries charged up.
Sorry, did you say how long it runs just on the battery?
3 or 4 days. It's really small amounts of electricity it's using. It's not using a lot, but I don't know why they didn't tie it into an alternator to keep it charged. It just seems like the right thing to do. They didn't do it.
So when does that battery have to be changed?
Changed?
Yeah, like is it on the same schedule as like a regular maintenance?
It'd be yearly inspected, and then they go by that. What else? This is your stoke position for your nozzle. Okay. When it's deployed, it'll actually come down like this. So up would be up, left would be left, right would be right, and down would be down. Okay. But This is in its stow position. I would assume you're not going to put stack dips on here.
It auto stows.
Okay. This one does auto stow. Yeah.
You said you can't bed the ladder unless
Without
it's
it
stowed,
stowed,
right?
correct. Yeah, if it's not in that position, your ladder will not come down in the cradle.
And you can't put it out of that position until you're out of the cradle.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it has to be at about 10 degrees before it'll even operate.
So there's no way to object it without.
Right. That is
Oh, the
correct.
nozzle.
Like the old truck.
Yeah, and the old one, you had to kind of look at it. So
You do have manual crank handles on this thing. Should you lose power, you can reach down and drive it where you need it to be, but you'll have to be on the ladder to do it. Okay. All right. Probably a
Bumper line.
good deal.
Okay.
With a pre-connect up here, so you do have a front discharge. That you got to fit. That's probably the only one.
Yeah. Dream team.
Underneath this symbol behind here, you have a little lever. You pull it all the way this way, so unlock it. If I push it the other way, get my fingers up underneath here, I should be able to get this up. There we go.
It's kind of suck, huh?
It does suck. You have the windshield wiper fill. What about here is your air intake for your truck. If you look down here, there's a spark arresting filter that goes in front of it. Okay, that filter can come out, you can clean it. It's just amber arresting so it doesn't get into your intake. But don't drive through water deeper than this. Right? Probably down here be better.
Fun out.
Okay, yeah, well,
This is
Well, let's go over that one more time.
Yeah.
How deep of water are we allowed to drive through?
right above this light.
don't do that.
Say right about where truck 70 is,
Yeah.
maybe 2 inches below that.
Below the
Yeah.
bumper.
Yeah.
Try not to go through too much. This button right here unlocks your doors. If your doors are locked and you can't get in, this button's right there. That little black one that's up there. This is your control to tilt your cab.
We'll look before we leave,
Your
but
ladder must be at least 14 degrees in the air to tilt your cab. If it's not, you're going to hit the bottom of the ladder with the top of the cab.
Did you say 14?
Should be bad. Yep, 14 degrees or higher.
say 20.
Yeah, we usually go to 20.
What's that?
20 is our normal.
Okay. So stay with what you're normally doing. In order to tilt your cab, you must turn this in this direction. The battery must be on. The ignition switch must be on, but the truck does not need to be running. Okay. Holding this button will tilt the cab up. When you're done lifting it all the way, there is a stay arm on this side. You're going to take the stay arm, you're going to prop it up, and don't lower the cab back down on the stay arm like we used to tell you to do. Because if you do that, you'll charge the lift cylinder in the opposite direction, and you'll blow the seals out of it.
So do you bring it down at all, or you just leave it up?
If it's going to fail, it'll fail on the arm. Power steering fluid is right here. This is where you fill your power steering fluid from to check it. This overflow for the antifreeze, don't fill that anymore. They used to have you fill it up to the lines. Now they don't want you to do anything with it. Just leave it where it's at.
Is that the same for all these sheets? So if that's dry, I'm not.
Don't fill it. Yeah. Just leave it. All it is for that tank when it expands, it gives it someplace to put it. And then it will draw from it as it needs it. Don't put any more in.
So if we see it in the sight glass on the backside, we're good to go.
Yes. That's correct. Or if you trust the gauge that's in the display, I'd say you can go by that. But if you're tilting your cab, you should look at it anyway. All right. Don't put your fingers in here with the windshield wipers running. That's a bad thing. Saw off your fingers. All right. So that's what's in here. Okay. Come around to this side.